Hi everyone, I'm Reading with Jack and welcome back to my channel. Finally, my A-level exams are over and I don't have to revise anymore. I finally have a life again, no more stress or panic. It's great. Life is good now and I can read again. I thought today I would come back to BookTube to make a video about some of my summer reading plans. This is not going to be a list of every book I want to read in summer because I'm probably going to buy a lot more books because I love buying books in summer and my book buying addiction levels go up because obviously end of exams, I like to buy books, and my birthday's in August, so loads of new books are going to be coming in. The books I really want to read, however, are ones that I've procrastinated reading, books that I've had for a long time but I've put to the back of my shelf. For some reason there are always a few books which I just want to read, but I don't get around to reading. Definitely let me know down below in the comments if you've read any of these books. Obviously don't put me off and, stop me from reading them, but be honest about what you thought of them and definitely let me know. The first book that I'd like to read in summer is one that I've actually already started and I've not read much of it so far. I've read about 50 pages. It is Wool by Hugh, Howey, which is the first book in the Silo trilogy. This is a sci-fi dystopia kind of book. It's quite hard to explain really because the first 50 pages were very confusing. I didn't really understand the world and what was happening and that was kind of annoying in a way, but I've heard it gets better and better and more intense as the book progresses. I definitely think once everything's been established more I will understand things and connect with the characters because so far I really do like the writing style. I like the use of figurative language. I'm just struggling to picture what's happening, which is kind of weird because you would think that with the language I would understand. I just think it's a very complex world that it needs time to develop. On the front of it, it does say it's the next Hunger Games, which obviously infuriates me because I hate these comparisons. Just because a book is dystopia does not mean it's the Hunger Games, and in fact, even if it becomes as good as the Hunger Games, the concept of it is so different, so it's nothing like it. The next book that I'd like to read is a very popular book on BookTube. I feel like one of the only people that haven't read it yet, and it is The Name of the Wind by Rothfuss. This is a high fantasy novel, and it's quite a big book, and the writing is tiny because it's a mass market paperback, and they have to fit loads of text in, so, it's really small and intimidating. The second book as well is even bigger than this, so if I enjoyed this, I don't know if I will feel intimidated to read that as well. However, I really do like the sound of this. I really love the idea that it's a Bill Dundreman fantasy. It sounds very unique. The main character is called Kvoth, and I believe we kind of follow his journey to exploring who he really is. I'm not really sure what happens, I don't really know a lot about it, but I've just heard amazing things. I've not heard one negative thing about this from anyone, and that's quite rare actually, so, the praise and the hype must suggest that it's going to be a great read. The third book that I would like to read in summer is a young adult book, and it's a continuation of a series I started either last year or the year before. It's Penryn and the End of Days is the name of the series, and the book is World After by Susan E. And this is the second book. Angel Fall was the first one and it was really good, very dramatic, very intense, a little bit horrifying at times, which I really liked. It was completely unexpected in a way actually. I love the idea of angels coming down from the sky and taking people. It really added something special to the book. I know the third book's just been released as well. I can't remember its name, which is kind of terrible, but hopefully if I enjoy this I'll get that one as well, and that I will just enjoy the whole book series or trilogy. I don't know what it is. The next book I'd like to read is one that I actually wanted to read at the beginning of this year. I think it was in my January or February to be read pile, and I never got around to it because of A-levels. Obviously I was so busy with school and sixth form and it was just stressful and I never actually read it, but I will read it over summer. It is Afterworlds by Westerfeld. I absolutely love this cover. Every time I show this book I have to mention the cover because there's two different faces here, and the black and the white and the kind of blue tint to it is great, and I love the spine as well. The spine is very bold and dynamic, and really it just stands out on my shelf and I love seeing it, and I'm hoping that the content inside will be really good as well. This is actually a book about books, and I love books about books. I'm crazy about them and I've never found one that I haven't liked. Obviously I haven't been looking purposely to find one I haven't liked, but I'm just hoping that this will not break the rule. I'm hoping this will be as good as all of the others. I know it's about someone who's actually writing her own book. We follow her own experiences, and then we also get to read the book she's writing as well. I think if I don't like one of them, it could be a bit problematic. However, I'm hoping for the best and it should be a good read. The next one I'd like to read is a continuation of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. It is Hollow City by Ransom, the second book. I believe the third book is coming out soon. I've seen the cover reveal and it's amazing. I love the artwork and design of this series. I mean, the cover's great, and obviously on the back and then throughout the book as well, there are a lot of pictures which are great. I mean, it's hard to show and I don't obviously want to look at them to spoil, but here are like some examples. They have like the characters and stuff. I really like the use of pictures in the first one actually. I felt like they weren't put in just for the sake of it. They actually added something. They brought the book alive, and I really like the first one because it was so beautiful. The writing style was very, very simple. There wasn't a lot of description, but it worked so well. It was very poignant and meaningful. I actually felt like it was very vivid despite the lack of description, I guess. And I really loved the story. I thought it was atmospheric, quite creepy. Probably not the typical summer read, but I'm not the kind of person that reads light, fluffy reads at summer. I actually like darker books and books that are a bit more intense because I finally have the time to read them. Obviously this isn't going to take me a while to read, but same principle applies, that it's not a fluffy, light book, if that makes sense. The final two books I'd like to read are classics. Classics always take me a little bit longer, but I'm still very excited about them nevertheless. The first one is The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. This is a classic I've been wanting to read for a long time, and I'm really excited to discover the main character, Holden. Some people really like him and other people hate him. For me, characters are so important in books, so it's kind of important that I do like him, so I'm hoping I will. Otherwise, the book might not be great. However, you know, most people seem to like it. Most people seem to connect with it, particularly teenagers like myself. The final one I'd like to read is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. This is a beautiful Penguin English Library edition. I love these editions. They are amazing, and I really need to get more of them over the summer because they look great on my shelf. Hopefully the content inside will be really good as well. I know it's like a Bill Dunkerman coming-of-age novel about Pip. I think Pip is the name of the main character. Out of all of Dickens's novels, this seems to always stand out to me. It's always one that I've wanted to read. I've always been very intrigued about it for some reason, and it just stands out more, so I'm hoping that it will be good. It will take me quite a while to read. The writing style is probably going to be quite old, and obviously it was written a long time ago, but that's exciting as well because I'll be able to discover things, and obviously the contextual things about the Victorian era are going to be fantastic. It's always one of my favourite eras to read about in classic literature. So these are all of the books that I'm hoping to read over summer. Obviously the minimum amount. I will probably read more as well, but I would love to read these. There's definitely a good variety. Obviously we've got some classics, young adult and general fiction as well. So I think there's definitely going to be something to explore in lots of different genres. And let me know, as I said before, if you've read any of them and what you thought of them. And that's really it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited to be back. I have missed BookTube so much. I actually had BookTube withdrawal symptoms after about a month of leaving because I wanted to film videos so badly. So now I'm catching up on everything that I haven't done. So I will see you all again in my next video.